Hello and welcome. As a hotel AI expert, I'm thrilled to be welcoming all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this online learning journey. In the hospitality world, there's one skill that truly separates the good managers from the great ones, and that's mastering labor costs. It's not just your biggest expense, it's the very heart of your guest experience. Together, we're going to break down exactly how you can master this, turning labor forecasting into a tool for both profitability and incredible service.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the core challenge, that constant tug of war between service and cost. Then we'll lay the groundwork with workforce planning, get hands-on with productivity ratios, and then bridge the gap from your forecast to the actual daily schedule. We'll also dig into the unpredictable but absolutely crucial human factor. And finally, we'll see how all of this comes together as a powerful leadership skill.
All right, let's dive right into our first point, this fundamental tension that really sits at the heart of every single hotel operation.
It's a simple idea, but it's so profound. Labor is without a doubt the largest and most complex expense you're going to manage. But, and this is the important part, it's not just a line item on a spreadsheet. Your team is the engine of your guest experience. Getting that balance right? That's the real key to controlling your finances while delivering amazing service.
You know, just take a look at this. This chart shows the direct link between a hotel's identity and its staffing. It's so clear, right? A luxury property, by its very definition, needs more staff on hand to deliver that premium, personalized experience. On the other hand, a limited service hotel is built on a much leaner model, so your forecast can't exist in a vacuum. It has to start with the unique service promise of your property.
And this quote really gets to the core of it. Forecasting isn't just about hitting a budget number somebody gave you. No, it's a strategic exercise. It's about making sure you have the right people in the right place at the right time, ready to deliver on your brand's promise to every single guest who walks through your doors.
Okay, so that leads us perfectly into the foundation of any good forecast, planning your workforce from the ground up.
This process is methodical. It has to be. First, you figure out exactly what each department needs to run smoothly. Second, you decide on the right mix of full-time, part-time, and casual staff to give you both stability and flexibility. And third, and you can never ever skip this step, you have to build your plan within the real-world constraints of labor laws, union agreements, and contracts. Because let's be honest, a plan that isn't realistic is a useless plan.
So, you've got your workforce plan. Now what? How do you actually translate the business you think you're going to have into the staff hours you actually need? Well, this is where your key metrics come into play.
Think of this as your toolkit. Every department has its own productivity ratios, and these are usually based on historical data. So for housekeeping, it might be rooms cleaned per person. In F&B, it could be covers served per waiter. These metrics let you create a solid data-driven link between, say, a 90% occupancy forecast and the exact number of housekeeping hours you'll need to schedule. But here's the crucial part. You can't just blindly trust old data. The world is always changing. New tech, like mobile check-in, might mean you need fewer hours at the front desk. At the same time, new standards, like those enhanced cleaning protocols we've all seen, are definitely going to increase the time and cost per room. Your benchmarks have to be living, breathing things. They have to be dynamic.
Now we get to where the rubber meets the road. Let's talk about how a solid forecast actually gets translated into the daily staff schedule. This is the critical link between your plan and your actual performance.
And this is a question that, I'll tell you, frustrates so many hotel managers. You predict your occupancy perfectly, you use all the right productivity ratios, and you still overspend on labor. Why? Why does this happen?
Well, the answer almost always lies in the schedule. These common pitfalls are usually the culprit. Think about it. Are your shifts really lined up with the peaks of guest check-ins and check-outs? Is overtime just being used as a crutch instead of a true last resort? Are your team members standing around with nothing to do? This is exactly where a brilliant forecast can get completely derailed by poor execution on the ground.
And that brings us to something that's so incredibly important. Forecasting isn't just a mechanical process with numbers and ratios. We have to account for the most important and unpredictable variable of all, our people. Just think for a second about all the hidden costs that don't show up on a simple weekly labor report. High staff turnover? That brings massive recruitment and training expenses. Unexpected absenteeism? That forces you into expensive overtime or leaves you short-staffed, which hits your service quality and, you guessed it, your bottom line.
So a mature forecast, a really effective one, moves beyond this perfect world scenario where everyone shows up on time and performs flawlessly. It actually builds in realistic assumptions about turnover, about the learning curve for new hires, and about absenteeism.
Doing that makes your whole financial plan way more resilient and a heck of a lot more accurate.
Okay, let's bring all of this together now and connect this whole technical process back to your future role as a leader in this amazing industry.
If there's one thing you take away today, let it be this. Labor forecasting is not an accounting task that you just pass off to the finance department. It is a core leadership competency. It is the skill that directly connects your ability to manage and motivate people with the financial health of your hotel.
Because when you master this, you can make informed, strategic decisions. You'll know when to hire, how much to invest in training, and how to schedule with precision. And the result? It's the ultimate goal in hospitality, isn't it? Achieving profitability while absolutely delighting your guests and never, ever compromising on the quality of their experience. So I'll leave you with this final thought. As you move forward in your careers, when you look at a staff roster or a budget forecast, what do you see? Do you see a simple administrative task, or do you see a strategic tool? How you answer that question will truly define your success. So ask yourself, are you just managing a schedule, or are you leading a strategy?